What's up guys, Houndish here, and today we have the weekly reset roundup for January 31st, and this week the Iron Banner returns with Fortress as well as some updates to reputation gains, so we'll cover that, but we also have extra changes for season loot this week in the update, and on top of that we get bonus Vanguard ranks, so we'll cover the Nightfall, rewards and all that good stuff, as well as the weekly challenges, featured activities, and the Eververse inventory for the week. So, as always guys, I hope you find the breakdown helpful. But before we get into it guys, the video today is sponsored by Clash Royale, which is available to play for free on all mobile devices right now. Clash Royale is a real-time multiplayer experience in the style of Tower Rush, where our goal is to take down more towers than our opponents, and the game stars royales, loads of favourite Clash of Clans characters, and much more, with a bunch of fun progression focused around collecting and upgrading dozens of cards throughout the game, including many which feature Clash of Clans troops, plus the spells and defenses, knights, baby dragons, as well as the Royale's princes. The gameplay is super fun and we're charged with the task of knocking the enemy kings and princesses off their towers in order to win, which in turn grants us various trophies and crowns, as well as a healthy dose of arena glory for bragging rights, which can be earned in a ton of awesome and varied arenas. Even better is that you can download the game for free by following the link below or scanning the QR code on screen to get started on iOS or Android, so I totally recommend that you check out Clash Royale in the description box below. Now though, as we get into gameplay stuff this week, we are going to see the return of the Iron Banner. Of course, that'll be coming back with Fortress and the updated rewards for this season. But there's also an update this week with a few changes, and Bungie have said Iron Banner reputation gains will be increased in several ways when Fortress returns, and these include an increase to base reputation earned per match, as well as an increased multiplier contribution from wearing Iron Banner gear, and increased multiplier contribution from equipping an Iron Banner emblem. So reputation in general is going to be better, but definitely make sure you're wearing as much Iron Banner armor as you can. And bear in mind that we'll get bonus rep as well by equipping the Iron Banner emblem. So let us know if you're going to be jumping into Iron Banner for the second event of the season. Also bear in mind this week Momentum Control returns to the Crucible, and so it could be a good time to jump into there. We do, however, also have a change to red border drops, so in the patch this week Bungie have said weekly deep sight red border weapon focusing from the exo frame at the helm will be adjusted to daily availability for the remainder of the season to help players craft those final weapons before Lightfall arrives. But we should also take note this will apply to vendors offering guaranteed deep sight weapon focusing between season 16 and 19, so pretty much for any of the seasonal weapons from this year, those weekly deep sight options are going to become daily for the rest of the season. But now let's get into other content stuff for the week. Of course, the weekly quest for Seraph has wrapped up, but we are going to see the season finale begin on February 14th, and Bungie have said if you've completed the main season quest, you'll go straight into that when it drops, so definitely be sure to wrap up more than a weapon quest steps if you can before the 14th of February. And next we get on to weekly challenges. So for this week we've got Legend Heist Battlegrounds 2. And we need to complete each heist battleground on Legend difficulty. That includes Europa, the Moon, and Mars. Then there is Heavy Loadout to defeat targets with machine guns, with bonus progress for defeating Guardians, or powerful combatants in heist battlegrounds. And then there is Pinnacle to reach power level 1590 by earning Pinnacle rewards, as well as Armory-wide calibration to calibrate kinetic, energy, and power weapons, with bonus progress against champions. But we also have Icy Singularity to defeat targets with Void or Stasis effects, and we get bonus progress for defeating invading Guardians there. And finally Cosmic Chill to defeat combatants with Void or Stasis effects in the Vanguard playlists. And for Vanguard itself this week, the featured Nightfall will be Birthplace of the Vile, and on top of that the featured weapon will be Hung Jury, and we get bonus Vanguard ranks all week long, so it's going to be a pretty good time to jump in and grind for a bit of rep. But onto other featured activities this week, the featured raid and dungeon includes the Vault of Glass, as well as the Grasp of Avarice, and both of these will drop their unique items with updated power relevancy for the season. However, that takes us to the Eververse store for the week. And for Bright Dust this week, we have the Read the Map exotic emote. That one's 3,250 Bright Dust. But additionally, we'll see the Rover Shell exotic ghost right here for 2,850 Bright Dust. And then the Transmat effect is the Stasis entrance, which will cost 450 Bright Dust. And the featured shader this week for 300 Bright Dust, as always, is the Growing Guilt, which is the shader for this season. Additionally, we have the Hit the Bag exotic emote, that's 3,250 once again, and the legendary emote, the Coach Dance, which will be 700 Bright Dust this week. But this is followed by the Nucleus exotic Ghost Shell. That one's 2,850 Bright Dust. And then we're going to see the class item from the Eververse Arc Armor sets this season, so we're looking at the Hunter one right here, but they'll be available for all 3 classes for 1,200 Bright Dust each. And additionally, we get some exotic ornaments featured for armor right here. So initially for Hunters, there's the Astra Strides, which is an ornament for Stumpies. That one will cost 1,500 Bright Dust this week. Then for Titans, we get the Execute Revival, the Siva ornament for Phoenix Cradle. Once again, that's 1,500 Bright Dust, and for the same price, we'll have the Sovereign Sigil for the Warlocks, which is an ornament for Crown of Tempests. But the featured weapon ornament this week for exotics will be the Logic for the Lament, pretty cool hive ornament for the sword right there. And that one's 1,250 Bright Dust once again. Then finally, we have the Memory of Bruce projection, the Legendary Ghost projection there, which will cost 1,500 Bright Dust this week. But getting onto the featured Lost Sectors for the week, for January 31st, Tuesday's reset, we'll see K1 Crew Quarters dropping exotic chest pieces. And then through the week, we've got K1 Revelation on February 1st, dropping exotic helmets. February 2nd, we'll see K1 Communion dropping exotic legs, and then we'll get Bunker E15 on February 3rd dropping exotic gauntlets, followed by Concealed Void on February the 4th dropping exotic chest pieces. Then on February 5th, we get Perdition dropping exotic helmets, and finally, for February 6th, we'll see Sepulture dropping exotic legs. But for our last couple of bits right here for the Dares of Eternity, the additional loot this week will be Rotation 1 loot drops, which includes the Scatterhorn armor set and Wild Hunt armor sets, as well as weapons from Season of the Hunt and Season of the Worthy. But if it's the Ascendant Challenger after this week, it'll be the Shattered Ruins, which is found via the Spine of Keres. So if you want some gameplay showing the location for that one this week, we'll run it at the end of the video. And otherwise, guys, that's everything we have to round up for the weekly reset. So as always, I'll keep you posted with news throughout the week. Be sure to get subscribed to the channel if you are new around here, and I can keep you up to date. Plus, feel free to turn on notifications by hitting the bell icon, and that way you won't miss out on any content. Otherwise though, as always, I appreciate you all tuning in. Let us know what you're doing this week in the game, but otherwise, whatever you get up to, I hope you have an awesome day.